like to remind us what happened last week?
Well, we made the decision to investigate the goo.
Pert made a compass.
Mm-hmm.
We began our journey and fought some trees.
Camille made trees go boom. Fire made trees go blah.
Says, no, you're not a tree, you're a shroom now. Boop. Oh yeah, Camille is now it's a cannon. It's officially has replaced his hand with like I don't know,
No,
6 inches cannon.
no.
Metaphor.
I can only do it 5 times.
So do cannon.
Go, gadget cannon.
I was a wake up call because God, I forgot how squishy fire is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a couple scary moments there in that fight.
It was because we entered a forest that was not friendly. It's the plants themselves are predatory and heebie-jeebies and not a friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Uncharacteristically, that fight was not at all scary for Riz when she got hit like once, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we pick up after the battle. You have just slain some trees that seem to be very interested in eating you.
And just remind me, this is... We have not yet had 2 long rests, right? Just 1.
That's correct. Is there anything you would like to do before pressing on?
I kind of look around and look at fire. It's like, would the ooze have done this to the trees, or is this something else? You're cutting out.
My theory is these are just, let's say, root trees. But let me check. Can I do an investigation?
Sure. Maybe a perception would be better.
Thank you.
So, sorry, I'm chewing. You see no sign of the black ooze on the corpses of the trees. You know from previous experience that once a creature that's been inhabited by this stuff dies, it tends to GTFO pretty quickly. But you also didn't see any of it during the fight, so probably not.
I don't remember. They also didn't mind, especially the fire, and all the creatures infected with goo were very fire.
I think you might be remembering that incorrectly.
Did I? Do I?
Yeah, it wasn't fire. It's was it radiant damage? Or are we both remembering correctly?
I'm pretty sure they were vulnerable to fire.
I went back and listened to the recordings, and you put a fire spear on its butt, and it wasn't smart enough to get away from it, was what happened, I think.
Oh. So they're just dumb. They're not vulnerable.
Yeah.
Well, that's a tool that we don't have anymore. The group. There might be more of them. Trees, I mean. So
be careful.
Be ready.
I was just saying we should be careful and watchful.
Yeah, I don't know what I could do to avoid them. Like, if they're douche, they're douche.
Do you have any way of telling if these are trees or creatures that look like trees or something?
That would my investigation, my perception tell that, Jamie?
They look like trees. You can do an investigation or a
I was gonna say Pert could do a nature.
yeah. I was gonna say medicine, but nature's better.
Nature's.
Nope. For all intents and purposes, these are trees. There's no squishy organs inside. I mean the interior, like the heartwood or whatever, is kind of squishy, but there's no organs. It doesn't look like a creature like one of you guys transformed into a tree or pretending to be a tree.
So it's plant.
Is plant.
So is actually tree doesn't seem to be controlled by the goo anyway. Do we have a way of telling if it was controlled by some other force? Or the trees are just jerks here?
I'm voting the trees are jerks. Next time we find one, I could talk to it to see what it thinks. They might just be part of the. Like, a tree doesn't need to eat meat. So I don't want to say they're just carnivorous. This is not the cycle of life. These are jerks.
Are carnivorous plants a known thing in this universe?
Make me a history or a nature check.
I feel like that should be nature.
I feel like fire will try to know that too. Unfair.
9s all around. Like, maybe. You think you might have heard of some, like, you know that you've encountered plants before that have had aggressive stances towards
Yeah,
creatures.
I was just wondering if it's a comment, like, if it was this universe, I could be like, but Venus flytraps, that kind of thing.
Right. I don't know if you know of any plants like that, but you do know that the plants around Astoria, they're kind of nasty sometimes. You don't necessarily know about them eating people.
As someone who has been eaten by more than one plant, I think it's fair to say some plants are carnivorous.
Is that an expert in the field?
I mean,
Yes.
Closest thing we've got, yeah.
Years
Also-
of dedicated study of the topic.
It might not be eating you, but I'm sure your body would make great fertilizer.
Well, Robbie wants to drain people originally. Ain't that bad.
What time is it of the day, is it, Jamie?
Like midday.
Well, we should press on as much as we can before it gets dark.
So I was in the middle of taking the cooking utensils out. But I was making lunch.
We need to make time.
I would rather eat trail mix and make time and have it. We can have a proper meal when we can.
Have a shroom. And Rizwan pulls a shroom out of Fire's pocket and hands it to him.
I cannot argue with that.
All right. So you continue on, following the compass through the forest.
I want to be on the lookout, one for other one of these trees to see if I can talk to it, see the level of jerkiness, and if I find surprise meat somewhere to make soup at night.
Okay. Make me a perception check. Okay. Um, as you all travel through the forest, like this feeling of unease remains, but Fire, you're having a hard time picking out any particular tree that might be quote unquote carnivorous. They all just look like trees. And sometimes you hear like a suspiciously loud creak or rustling of leaves that is a little more vigorous than you expect, and you turn around, there's trees. You don't know if that means that they're just really good at hiding, or you're just not on top of it today, or maybe it's just the wind.
Fair enough.
As you continue on throughout the day, it starts to rain. Just a gentle drizzle, a little bit of white noise as the little raindrops hit the leaves. Who has a passive perception over 20?
Exactly 20.
Missed?
17.
17? Okay.
I can't tell if Zoe does.
I don't think Zoe
I
does.
can't
Oh, I
actually
gotta
see
give
Zoe's
you...
character sheet right now.
Yeah. That's not Zoe, that's Rizwan. Hurt, you notice something. Fire, what's your passive perception? Quasta?
Dean? Hello? You hear me?
Hello?
Yep.
I heard teen.
15.
15,
Cable.
okay.
My cable.
So Pert, you're the only one that notices it, at least right away. Off to the left somewhere, maybe like 40 or 50 feet away, you spot between two trees, like a little bush that seems to be oozing black.
And the moment he sees that hint, Pert will call Fire's attention to it. And, is it like the black is coming from the bush, or is the black just on the bush?
You go up to take a look?
Um,
Or are you just trying to tell from where you are?
If it's not obvious from a distance, I will investigate closer, but I want to establish a perimeter, so to speak, first.
We all hear paired and we stop, I assume.
Well,
I'll see what's going
Bert calls you over specifically, so yes.
Okay. You look around, it seems to be the only thing in the vicinity like that. You get a little bit closer. Make me a perception check.
Quick question.
Mhm.
Just based on the bit of scouting that she did, does this seem... It seems kind of soon to me. How's Rizwan feeling about that?
Yes.
Okay.
on. And it's one shrub covered in it, not like a full.
That's correct. There is just a shrub. You think like it looks like there's like this black stuff kind of oozing out from like the bark, but the body of the shrub. And it's just kind of dripping down, hitting the ground, disappearing into the ground.
All right. Pert's going to put on a heavier pair of gloves, probably riding gloves or whatever, and he's going to attempt to cut a vine and put it into a sample jar.
I will stand close to Kurt to provide him Aura of protection.
Okay. Make me a sleight of hand check, please.
Well, thank you. I was going to request that as well.
All right. With a 30, you very deftly manage to cut the branch without spraying any black goo around. It falls neatly into your collection jar. You pop the lid on, and you have managed to grab your collection without unduly exposing yourself.
Or infecting
To,
a party member.
yes, or anyone else to the black goo.
Now, two immediate obvious questions. A, is the plant still oozing? B, is this sample continuing to produce?
You posed an interesting question, and I need to consult Dr. Google for a second.
Google says you have cancer.
It's lupus,
It's never lupus.
except when it's lupus.
Or when it's lupus and cancer?
Wait on that. Lupus remind me of that I saw some clips of Lupin the Third, and I thought, yeah, this could be fun. And then I stopped myself. No, don't go into that rabbit hole. You know how big that is.
Kawasa,
Okay.
I'm 150 episodes in.
Yeah, no.
So the plant is still oozing. The bush that you took the cutting from. The cutting that is in your little collection jar seems to also still be oozing, but the collection is quite small, and so there's maybe a drop of it. It may continue to produce. You're not really sure.
It's definitely not immediately stopped, and it's definitely not gushing out 14 times faster, is the important part.
Yeah, it's not gushing out 14 times faster. You take a minute to just watch your sample, and the little tiny drop of black goo that's in there, it kind of collects at the bottom for a few seconds, and then it starts trying to
Escape?
wriggle its way out. Yeah.
And while he's waiting to see what that goo's doing, he's also going to try to study the plant to see if it's a species he can identify.
Make me a nature check.
Oh, there's no +1.
Yes, this is a fairly common species of shrubbery found in this area. I am not a botanist.
No, it's just, it is a normal plant. He has seen it before. It's something that he would have encountered 20 times in his life. It's not
Yes.
alien species that has 6 tentacles coming out of its mouth. Wait, it has a
That's
mouth?
correct.
Why didn't you mention the mouth first? Okay, cool. So can't assume that the plant itself is the source.
I feel like I already know what's gonna happen, but I think I'm gonna try cast speak with.
You're gonna try and cast Speak with Plants? Is that what you said?
Yeah, am I cutting off?
Yes.
God damn it! Sorry about all of this.
It's okay, just do your best. So you're gonna cast Speak with Plants.
Feel like I already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you cast Speak with Plants, and it cannot respond to you. It's like you're knocking on a door and no one's home.
Someone's home, or more um, like how to say it? Just angry babbling. Do you hear me?
Yeah, just give me a second.
I was expecting like incoherent screaming.
Same, like angry, raging clown.
I should have. Where the frick? I'm looking for a particular table that I can't. Here we go. Make me an insight check. And can you please link the spell?
I didn't. I didn't saw that. I move plants within 30 feet of me.
Oh, the neighbor plants
Even
might be able to
sentence.
tell you.
Okay.
Even
Okay.
since it's an animation, I should read my spell.
So you're doing all the plants within 30 feet?
Apparently, I was
Okay.
I was always thinking like I cast it on myself and I have the ability to talk with plants.
Okay. So actually your immediate suspicion is correct. It's more a kit like if you try to talk to it, it's more akin to like incoherent babbling. But there's a couple of trees, few bushes, some moss that's well within 30 feet that you can also ask questions. You see them start to sway a little bit against the wind as your spell animates them.
Yeah, I'm gonna present myself and say good afternoon and all of that jazz to like a shrubbery, like a neighbor shrubbery,
Mm-hmm.
and start asking questions like, "What's your, what's up with this shrub?
What happened to Steve? Who hurt
Yeah,
Steve?
who hurt Steve? Yes,
Um, the plants say, that one is sick.
you know of any other ones stick like that around here?"
Mm, not near here.
I think I would ask a tree for this, but do you know how many winters before this one was being sick?
This winter. It is currently winter.
Just a few days or months. Mm. Anything else?
Yeah, I lost you there for all that.
What do you say, James?
I lost you for all of that, Quasta.
I just asked the group if they want to ask anything else.
Do they know what direction the other sick trees are?
Pert flips to a new page in his notebook and it begins to ask the doctor level symptoms breakdown of the plant over the last 6 months.
They cannot help you in that kind of detail.
I know, and Pert looks really hurt.
Yeah. They would tell you that there is something on the wind to the northwest-ish. They would kind of be like in that direction and point some branches.
Does it correlate with the direction the compass is guided?
Yes.
Oh. Thank everyone, and I take a little time to with craft. Let me read see if I can do this.
Sorry, what are you doing? I'm sorry, Quasta.
Reading my spell.
Okay. Anything else anybody wants to?
I just want to say that I take my time a little bit to use druidcraft to make their life a little bit better to all the ones to help me.
Okay.
Should we destroy this one?
I think it's the best.
Fire. Unlike an animal, this isn't going to move and fight. Do you think you can try curing it? It might give us a shortcut to know how to help animals better.
I believe... Jeez, I feel so underprepared. I believe Zoe would pop up here and say that she tried Dispel Magic on the squirrel that she found that was covered in black goo, and it seemed to work.
Well,
let's do that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I should do that. I'm gonna do the spell magic. That's a level 4.
Okay, please make me a spellcasting check.
It's a level 4? Got that. What's my...
Okay, you cast Dispel Magic, and for whatever reason, maybe it's because this is a plant, it doesn't seem to want to go. You feel something resist your spell, and the black ooze is still very slowly oozing out of this bush.
Does Zoe remember if she... I don't know how to say it in terms of the world. Does Zoe remember if she had to make an ability check to do it? Considering she cast at level 5.
I don't remember.
Well, I mean...
Ty might remember, I don't.
She cast the spell at level 5. Does she
Yeah.
need to make an ability check?
I think I still made her roll.
I don't know what the right thing here is. Like, I feel like it's easier to get her spell slots back, but I also don't want to just volunteer her.
Yes, she did make the roll. Before you do that, I just gotta test because with testing things, I gotta cast Lesser Restoration to see if it does it.
It does not.
I think
I like me as me also wants to try banishment, but I don't know if that's something that Zoe would do.
You guys can always take a short rest after this.
Yeah.
Plus, she
It is
hasn't
only an
used
hour.
her restore a charge ability today either.
use this opportunity to cast spells, Nibbles.
Okay. Zoe tries banishment. I hope that's okay, Ty.
Banishment. Okay.
And specifically targeting the goo, not the plant. I don't know if that's even possible.
Like,
Can you link banishment in chat, please?
Sure. Give me 10 minutes. I don't think her spell list is that big.
casting nuke on target bug.
And this would be, I'm pretty sure, at 5th level.
Okay. I get my dice. Accidentally unplug my headphones.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, definitely that's 5th level. And, oh, she has 3 spell slots. I did not know that.
Yeah. So, you, as Zoe, have a choice. The spell doesn't, you can either... The spell does not want to kind of stick to the black goo, so either it's going to banish the tree or it's just going to fail.
I guess it's just gonna fail because the tree is definitely from here.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll just come back in a minute anyway.
Okay. It did. So that did not work.
And is she able to tell like it's just not a valid target or it's like resistant to it or something?
Yeah, it is not a valid target.
Okay.
Or Zoe can make me an Arcana check. So there are multiple reasons that it could not be a valid target.
I'm assuming primarily because it's not a creature.
That's one of the reasons. So the spell says you can attempt to send one creature that you can see within range. So it could be either it's not one creature, it's not a creature,
Or due to its root
most
system.
of the creature isn't in range. But she doesn't have a sense of which option is.
She's pretty sure that it's not like... It's not like a colony situation where it's actually more than one creature. Whether or not it is a creature, I think she's not sure. Or maybe it's that it's just a very small part of something larger.
Rizwan is internally considering just flame breathing this thing into oblivion.
Uh-huh.
Well, should Zoe try banishment? Does Fire want to try again? How do you want to handle this?
If we don't get cure it, killing it is the option.
Well, I mean, we know that Dispel Magic works. Do we want to pump the spell slots into it? Or just, you know...
I think we know a way of getting rid of it. We should just use the option that we know works.
Right. So we will try Dispel Magic then.
Okay, please make me a spellcasting roll.
That's the same thing as an attack roll, right?
It would be spellcasting modifier plus d20.
Yep. So charisma check.
Okay.
Plus proficiency, is it?
This is plus provisions.
I thought it was plus proficiency, and then somebody told me I was wrong.
Okay, which one is this?
Spellcasting.
So under
Check.
spells, it should say spellcasting. I'm googling it again because I've done this like 6 times.
The first thing on Google says no proficiency.
Alright.
I mean, it's not an official source, but...
What did Ty roll before, Quasta? Do you have that easily accessible?
Yes, Ty always rolls an attack roll because it's easier for
Right,
them.
which does have proficiency.
It does have proficiency.
So let's just...
Let's just go with that because we don't want to change what we've done 40 times in the past.
Yeah, and you also rolled proficiency for yours. Quasta, right? Or...
Yeah,
Yes.
I did.
Yes. So yeah, we'll roll with that. Whether it's a house roll or not, whatever. Womp womp. 13 is not enough.
Well, so we can try once more.
Okay.
I don't know what the right answer there is, Quasta, because your spells take longer to come back, I guess.
Yeah, I'm all I'm all done out of level 3. I have 2 level 4s left, and I shouldn't use one of those. Yours is better.
Okay.
There we go.
Camille has Dispel Magic also, apparently.
Yes, that is enough. Camille reaches over and...
Zoe and Fire is discussing, no, I'm more tired. No, I'm more tired. No, I'm more tired.
And I just push them aside and bleh.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, Camille is able to successfully expunge the black from this tree. It like bubbles up out of these like sores on the branches of this little bush. And almost like somebody's like vomiting. It just goes bleh all onto the ground.
So it doesn't disappear, it just leaves the tree?
It does seem to leave the tree, and then when it hits the ground, it sort of like takes a couple seconds and then sinks into the ground and disappears.
Is it a tree or a bush?
It's a bush. Sorry. Some bushes have bark.
Yeah, I'm
True.
thinking of the size of the thing.
Some bushes are big.
This bush, now that like all of the black stuff has been expunged, you can still see like open sores on the stalks of the branches. It doesn't look healthy. Is your spell still up, Fire?
It's
10 minutes? Probably not.
I mean, we spent less than, I would say, we spent less than 10 minutes discussing
Okay.
this.
Then just as your spell is starting to fade, it is still kind of incoherently mumbling to the ears of your spell. But the mumbling seems a little quieter, a little less frantic. I think it is hard to know how it's going to do now, if it's going to recover or not. The squirrel that Zoe managed to cleanse ran away very quickly. She didn't see the aftermath of her spell.
She didn't see it just go pop later. Does healing magic work on plants? Or like druidcraft? Do you want to try that?
Gonna try a cure wounds. Can I do a few cure wounds druidcraft combo?
Sure.
Since the spellcasting does use proficiency.
Okay. Thank you, Mist. The tree starts to, or the bush, damn it, starts to look a little greener. The leaves are a little less droopy. Some of the sores on the branches start to close. It looks healthier. Give me a nature check or an insight check or an arcana check or something. Insight. So you think that it just might require some time. The times that you have dealt with this black ooze and you've got some of it on you and you've had wisdom score decreases, the only thing that really fixes that is either greater restoration or just time.
Rizwin had it, right?
Sorry?
Rizwin had it like pretty hard one time.
Yep.
Rizwin also has a not great wisdom score.
I mean, it's a +2.
That
No,
was low.
+1.
I thought you had a negative wisdom.
Nah, she doesn't have a negative anything.
She did at one point.
Well, yes.
Lucky you.
By default, she doesn't have a negative anything. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's not true. She has negative charisma.
Anyway.
And I mean, we've described this ooze as being as wrong as a rabbit wolf, right? Like it is natural but diseased or wrong.
You guys still don't know a ton about it. Emma's pretty sure that it's one of the spirits that he can see. That is maybe, it's just doing something it's maybe not supposed to. It is a natural thing, but not natural in the same way.
It's a natural thing acting outside of its normal.
Came from nature. Niche. It's wrong now. Something like.
Yeah.
It's like if bees started building nests inside of bears.
I'm sure that's happened.
No. Like that,
I don't like the idea of the black
Moving
ooze.
on.
All right, so I guess we just continue on then.
Yeah, I don't think we've got anything else that we can do here.
Okay, continuing on.
Not happening now, but Pert will wax the seal on his sample jar later.
Okay. You travel for another couple of hours before it starts to get dark. It's a little hard to tell sunrise and sunset in here with the trees being so thick. But you figure it's probably time to stop for the night.
Okay, let's set up camp.
Do we set up a watch? One
I-
person with Zoe, I guess, since
Yep.
Zoe doesn't sleep anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Pert's actually going to request some time with Rizwin.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be a watch shift, but at some
Yeah,
point.
we can do it like before we go to sleep.
But the very first thing Pert does is wax seal the jar, so that way the additional ooze can't run away.
Okay.
And he's going to try to measure the ooze to see if it grows or shrinks.
Okay. So, couple of things. You have to try to do the wax by campfire light because it's very dark out tonight. It's still raining a little bit. Everything's just kind of damp. As you're making a wax seal around your little collection container, something catches you as a bit odd. The ooze in here doesn't seem to be calming down at all.
Huh. Pert pulls out the compass.
It is acting the same way as your second sample. Still sort of bubbling and pushing its way into the crystal in the direction of north and west.
Pert asks, who's around right now? I was asking who wanted to volunteer.
To do what?
Pert's going to ask whoever's the first person available to take the compass and walk off into the forest 20 feet.
Sure.
Just watch the compass to see whether it calms down as it gets further away from the heat of the campfire.
Or from the other sample.
That too.
Yeah, Rizwan will grab it and start walking in a direction.
Okay, make me a perception or an insight check.
At least you have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
You don't notice any change in the behavior as you walk away from the others in the campsite.
Mm-mm. I will go for a bit and then turn around and go back. And then say it didn't change.
I'm trying to eliminate possibilities. We're getting closer to the source, so it could be that. So we can't control for that variable. Walking away from the other sample in the campfire eliminates the heat and the light, but maybe it takes time for the heat to take effect. I don't want to say, go stand in a lake and shove it under the water, because that would involve ordering you to go out into the middle of nowhere by yourself for several hours to find a lake. Can you think of any other possibilities we can eliminate?
I could specifically walk in the opposite direction that it's pointing.
Yeah, but again, we don't want to send you away for 2 hours.
I think it's something to be mindful of, but I don't think you can eliminate any variables at this point.
Probably not. Fire? Can you generate a large amount of cold without doing tons of damage?
Hold on.
I'm trying to think of a way to generate a freezer box without actually, like, having a freezer.
I do believe that would fall under prestidigitation, which Zoe can do.
I was just reading that.
Because you can chill.
Oh, yeah, you can
Instantaneous,
chill.
harmless sensory effect. Yeah.
I can create a sleet storm.
Let's not
That
do
might
that,
be a
Fire.
little overkill.
We'll save that as a later option.
Yeah.
Then Pert will request if Zoe could try freezing or at least chilling the sample, the compass, to see
Okay.
whether it has an effect on it.
She chills it to very chilly, and it does not seem to have any effect.
I'm gonna stick with the radius example then. It might just be we're getting closer to the source, so it's getting more and more active.
Or the source is getting closer to us.
Both possibilities.
Well, that's a cheerful thought.
David, make me a wisdom or an insight check.
Heck yeah.
It seemed like the last couple of days that you've checked out the compass at night, it seemed pretty consistent in how kind of calm it got. And tonight it's very different. And if you were slowly getting closer to the source over time, you think that it would be a more gradual change?
Yeah. Which is why I tried the fire thing first.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with temperature, and you don't think it has anything to do with distance either.
Could it be air pressure? Could it be
do you want me to give you a hint with your 26 insight?
I'd appreciate it.
It's cloudy tonight.
But I thought it got less active with the sunset. Am I misremembering that?
No, it's specifically at night.
Oh, okay, so the sunset wasn't actually part of it. Interesting.
So it gets more active at night?
But not
Oh.
less active at night. But not tonight, for some reason.
Is that high enough for the
Mm-hmm.
character to say the thing the player's thinking?
Yeah.
The moon's not out.
Yep.
Oh, we should have... Hey, Rizwan,
Hello?
how long would it take you to fly to say hi to the goddesses?
I can't do that without them saying so. That's just waltz in there.
But yeah,
Hey,
sure.
why you want?
Because she's the moon
It's-
goddess.
It's tied to Selene, the moon. It doesn't like the moon.
Or it's opposed to Selene.
I could pray about it.
If you could. At this point, Bert's experienced enough weird shit. He'll try prayer. Who knows?
I'll try prayer.
I don't think we're getting anywhere further unless someone else has another idea.
No, I think those of us who are devoutly inclined are going to be meditating and praying tonight, so...
Then, unless someone else has something else they want to do, I have another scene with Rizwan that I'd like to do when, if no one else has something else.
Soup would surprise me.
What was that, Quasta?
Scene of parties over a bowl of soup with surprise meat.
Surprise meat.
Pert happily enjoys the bowl of soup. The surprise meat is probably a surprise.
Surprise, it's me.
He probably spends enough time identifying it just for sheer
Nope.
curiosity.
Stop. No.
Don't want to know.
Okay. So you all ruminate on the possibilities for what is affecting this give over dinner. First watch comes around while the rest of you bed down. We'll say that's Pert and Rizwan.
Pert asks Rizwin to join him in a clearing 20-30 feet away from the rest of the party.
Okay.
Despite it being cloudy and nighttime, he still
And
takes...
rainy.
He still takes the time to put a blindfold on. I've started noticing little details in the dark, in the night. I want to try adding this to our sparring. I think I can master this. I can't get as good as dark sight and stuff, seeing in the darkness as you guys can, but I think I can get a handle on this. Can you help?
Sure.
And so, I don't know if we need to do any rolls or anything, Jamie, but this is basically just Pert making a point of trying to train up his ability to sense things when he can't
Blind
see.
sight?
Yeah, because
Okay.
next level I'm going to take fighter and I'm going to get blind sight, so...
Very good.
So yeah, I think Pert probably gets his butt handed to him, but he probably dodges something once.
Yeah. Zoe watches from the campsite. Okay. So that is first watch. And yeah, you do mostly get your butt handed to you. But that's how you learn.
Yep, and he dodged something, so it's clearly working.
Yeah. Yeah, you think you're kind of by the end of it, you think, okay, I maybe starting to get the hang of this.
Solid.
All right.
Thank you, Rizwan.
So first, actually, I should get rolls from both of you. Maybe a disadvantage because y'all are doing other stuff.
Bread doesn't really ship well.
Do you want one from Zoe as well?
Sure. Hers is not a disadvantage.
Oh.
No, she's just
Well,
nosed
then.
even a book.
All of the creepy sounds of the creepy forest just kind of melt away between the rain and the concentration on your fighting.
I apologize. This is something I was talking about earlier, but I couldn't find a way to fix it. I have reliable talent. So on disadvantage rolls, we actually have to add 10. No, wait, maybe that... Yeah, no, it's still a 10 as the result, so it would be a 20, not a 11.
Yeah, so you will never roll lower than a 20 on perception.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll try to find a fix for that.
I wish you luck. So, Pert, you still don't really notice anything besides the creepy forest being creepy.
At least there wasn't some, owl bear 16 feet out of camp and we just all overlooked it.
Yeah. Second watch comes up.
That can be Kamael up with Zoe or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fire, you don't have dark vision, right? Okay, then you can do it without this.
Okay. So I'll get a perception check from you as well. At one point in the night, you hear a thump deep in the woods like something large fell. It immediately puts you on edge. You wait 5, 10, 30 minutes. Nothing.
I'm gonna get another one from Zoe.
Alright.
Redemption! Yeah, Zoe also, tunes in and listens for more of the sound. Whatever it was doesn't seem to have kept moving, whether it was a creature or a plant or just a regular old tree falling over.
So after a while, we just kind of get back to talking or
Yeah.
doing your thing or whatever.
Your watch also ends without any more excitement. Third watch. Fire and Emma. Can I get perception checks from you two?
Disadvantage, right?
If you don't have
X.
dark vision.
Was that supposed to be? Yeah, it was a disadvantage. Darn. Missed. Can I get a?
And as a mole. And I transform into a mole in protest.
Fire's a mole.
The book has returned.
Emma, you hear sounds within the forest that the others don't hear. You hear this like kind of knocking that's very reminiscent of those little white tree spirits deep within the forest. You don't see them though. Every once in a while, a little like spectral looking kind of pinkish jellyfish thing floats through the air, very slowly making its way.
More little friends.
Mm-hmm. But none of them seemed to bother you. Was there anything you wanted to do on watch? Besides be a mole, Fire?
I snuggle with Amma. Very tender, very need warm.
Okay. The rest of you awaken. It is still raining.
We all grumble.
Yep. And you. Mm-hmm.
Rizwan gets up early and goes and does dragon push-ups or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know if when I talk, people hear me or not.
I heard that.
Heard that.
Heard that.
Would it be better to, at least for today, Fire or Wasa, if you switched your microphone to like your webcam? I know it might sound like gas, but at least it'd be consistent.
Never used it. New computer. Who this? Let me try it.
Perhaps this is a good time for us to take a break then while you're figuring that out.
Reasonable. I'll be right back.
How do you guys hear me?
Yes!
Yeah, we hear you. You're
Quasin,
a little
base
loud.
form.
What? Better or worse?
It's a little
yeah,
it's a little more
fine.
echoey, but it's
Consistent.
consistent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm
your
gonna
voice is deeper.
Mhm.
And maybe lower your input volume a bit.
I'm gonna go put more tea on. I'll be back.
What do I sound now?
Split the difference. You're too quiet now.
This is 75%.
That's good.
75% speaking.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, cool. I'm really sad that this big expensive headset didn't last that long.
Yeah, that's kind of frustrating.
Does it have a replaceable cord or is it directly wired?
Directly wired? And the company is very eager to help and yes, and how do I call it? Certified, and we're gonna fix it for free and whatnot. But you need to send it to the USA. Well. Gotta get some food beer.
Well, that was a good idea. He sounds much better.
Yeah.
I would return with cheesecake, but I had cheesecake earlier, so I shouldn't have more.
What cheesecake?
Cheesecake.
The assorted pack from Walmart. So half a slice of plain, half a slice of turtle, and half a slice of strawberry.
I actually really like the Walmart cheesecake.
Yeah, no, it works.
Walmart has some underrated food products.
And for $12 for brain, eight slices that you can slice into halves, it's a decent price. Did you say hello?
Me?
No, I thought Quasta said hello very, very distantly.
They did not.
Thank you for dealing with the curveballs, by the way, Jamie.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just not very good at taking notes of my own bullshit, and I'm like, I don't remember what DC I set for this thing, or stuff like that.
It was somewhere between 8 and 40.
That's true. My tea is ready. I will be back. Okay, I am back with tea.
I was gonna jokingly say, I sure hope you'll be back, because otherwise we'll be awfully lonely without you if you didn't.
Aww. Is everybody back?
I'm here.
Haven't heard from Quast or Nibbles. And the cat tends to be pretty quiet. Mal? There she is.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
Welcome back.
Had to repair some damage.
2?
My foot.
Uh-oh.
I opened the refrigerator door, and the bottom of the door scraped across the top of my foot in a violent manner.
Ouch.
Ouch. Oh, that sounds painful.
Oof.
It was. Nothing a little bit of duct tape and a paper towel can't solve, though.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding.
I mean, that's what I do at work.
Listen, I've totally used paper towel and duct tape as a bandage before.
Hey. Woo.
Okay, everybody back? I think we were just waiting for you two.
I'm good.
Meow.
Okay. So as the rain continues to fall gently, slowly, just making everything kind of damp, you continue on your journey through the forest. After about a couple of hours, Hurt, you notice as you're looking around a tree that seems to be oozing black.
It's getting more frequent.
Yeah, common theme in this part.
Probably yes. Would we rather mark these for checking later so that we know when we've dealt with whatever we're going to deal with, we can come back to reference this on the way back?
Rizun would request that we try to dispel this one, but she wants to be ready before we do to try a thing. If everybody's alright with that.
What was the request?
Rizun wants to try burning it.
I mean, go ahead, but I feel like we need to realize that we're gonna get at that point that we will not get any advance if we stop to burn all the forest.
Yeah, just to see if it works.
Yeah, we can try it one more time, but I'm gonna say we see more. We have to find a source to deal with that. Treat the symptoms.
Do we have a way to? The thing I want is like a casserole dish.
Pert's collection jars are not that big. Fire has some pots and pans.
Yeah.
Just something to keep it, because I doubt we're going to be able to see it while this happens. So I wanted to know for sure whether or not it gets burned or soaks into the ground. You know what I mean?
How big is it? I don't feel like I have a pan big enough, right? It's a tree, did you say?
Yeah. It's it's not a huge tree. It's like maybe.
What's smart preparing spell?
I'm not good with distances. Like fire could probably fit it within his hands, like finger to finger, the diameter of it.
Fire, do you have mold earth? Because if we had something like mold earth, we could create at least a bowl around the tree to help make it obvious if the fire killed the ooze.
We tried to figure out if the fire just killed the plant and then the ooze goes away, versus the fire kills the ooze.
I mean, it's gone through the earth before. It will just soak into that bowl-shaped earth.
Yeah. I mean, we could just try it and see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, just be observant.
Pert puts on his "I'm looking at stuff closely" face.
Okay. Everyone kind of like spreads out around the trees. You have it looked at all angles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we want to? I guess we'll have Zoe do or do we want to have Camille do it since he seems to be rolling well?
I thought you were gonna just burn it.
Yeah, I want to burn it, not the tree.
Okay.
So Rizman still, even though we're way out 3 days in the middle of fucking nowhere, looks around to make sure there's no other people.
I would get Zoe to try it.
And does the transformy.
I think. Oh gosh. Does anyone have a tent?
We have many tents, but I don't want to get ooze all over our tents, or have to burn one of our tents.
Well, the tents are not going to stand up to the flame breath.
That's the point. It's a sacrificial thing that we could drive the ooze onto the tent and then sacrifice the tent to prevent the ooze from getting into the ground. Was all I was thinking.
No, that's just a waste of resources.
Well, I feel like we before we have tried, like cloth makes the ooze can't pass through cloth or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So Zoe will attempt the.
Give me a roll.
Hey.
That's enough.
And as soon as their blob appears on the ground,
Okay.
Is when flame breaths the blob with
Where the bush kind of like just did it all at once. You see like it's like this. Sorry, this is going to be a bit graphic. You know, in the movies when like there's somebody gets a slit throat or something, and like the blood is kind of coming out in pumps.
yeah.
It's like kind of coming out of the tree in like waves.
Gross.
Yeah.
I'm kind of confused on what we're doing. I thought of we're burning it, but now we're cutting it.
We
So
are
it's doing something.
dispelling the ooze off of the tree. The ooze is separating from the tree, and then Rizwa is burning the ooze.
I was trying to find a less graphic way to describe like our. You know what I mean?
Mine
We
wasn't going to
pop
be.
the tree zit.
Yeah, mine wasn't going to be any better, Chamie. It was going to be the vomiting thing.
No, it's more like it's, you know how it kind of has like it has like a wave, as though like there's a lot and then there's a little bit and then there's a big wave of it and then it kind of slows down and another big wave of it.
So there's a big puddle on the ground now.
Yeah, it's not going to be there for very long. I would like everybody to make me a perception check.
Perception.
Does Rizwin also get to make one?
Yes. I feel like yours is a disadvantage though because the flames are coming out of your mouth.
So the 19 was Zoe's, the 23 was Rizwin's first one.
So we have backwards. There's
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Oh my god. And that's a perception. That's perception as a dragon.
Yes, she's in dragon form.
Okay. So Rizwin, you can't see shit. There's a bunch of fire in front of your face, and the black ooze is like there's a big puddle, but it's not that big, and you're having a hard time seeing what's going on there. Fire and Pert, you both are more on the peripheral, and you see the flames jet out of Rizwin's dragon mouth, roasting this black puddle, which seems to just slowly seep into the earth. And more keeps coming out of this tree. And the tree, I think, now is also kind of singed or on fire.
She was doing her best to not damage anything else, but yeah.
Fire can give it a hug.
The fire does not seem to have hurt the ooze itself. It's still just coming out of the tree, landing on the ground, and then seeping into the ground.
All right. That's all I had.
Hey, science.
Mm-hmm.
It was a worthwhile experiment. Pert pats her on the shoulder.
Shall we?
Or haunch, whichever.
No, she transforms back very quickly.
Okay. Alright, your experiment having not gone the way you had hoped, you continue on through the forest. And it's not much time after. Pert hears it first. And then Amma and Fire. You hear a sound through the woods. Kind of the thump, the thump, thump, the thump. It's getting louder. What do you do? Kind of sounds like something running.
Does it sound like a big thing running? A lot of little things?
A big, like one big thing. The thump, the thump, the thump.
Okay, so we have an elephant crashing through the forest.
I think Pert will throw up his hood, signal to the others, and then bolt ahead in the direction of the noise.
Okay. It's coming in your direction.
Yeah. So Pert's going to try to stealth in its direction to find out the heck it is.
We're gonna activate spores.
Just out of character, the question that you asked us previously, plus the apparent size that you're describing this thing, has me absolutely terrified.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wait.
So.
Wait. No souls. Wait.
Waiting.
Are you posting an RUS?
No, I'm thinking I'm gonna cast something before this thing's games.
Woo. If you're gonna do something, do it now, Quasta.
One big thing. I'm gonna cast Conjure Animals.
Okay.
Level 5.
Fire's rounding up an army.
Conjure. Is this under Beast Bay?
Yeah, Beast. I want 8 creatures CR 1.
Okay. Please roll me 1d4 and tell me what you get.
Before that, let me check before I do something dumb. Yeah, this is an hour concentration. Okay, cool.
What is it?
One.
Yeah, that 1. Okay, that is the ape, which you already have access to, I do believe.
Yes.
Okay.
I summoned the monkey.
Fantastic. So as you do that, this thumping is getting louder, and you see running through the trees is a very, very large bear. It just goes zooming right past you, does not see you. You do not even have to roll. I do not think it has the ability to meet that. Yes, and as it's getting closer, you can see little, or not so little, sores full of black pus that are just covering it, kind of dripping down its fur.
He stopped, or is it still like kind of going full charge?
He is going full charge.
Okay, then.
Is it running past us or is it running at us? Sorry.
It is running in your direction. This is not what I needed.
Is this?
Is this?
Sonic music.
I believe
This
it's
is Final
Xenoblade.
Fantasy music.
Yep.
It's from the remake.
No, it's from 13.
Is it? I thought I heard this in Final Fantasy VII Remake as well.
Might have used it.
Maybe.
Who are we missing? Nobody?
Sounded similar to Sonic. So, like Sonic Unleashed.
Okay. Pert, you are up first. You're pretty sure this thing does not see you, as it's just barreling through the forest. What do you do?
Pert's going to try to politely put it down and out of its misery.
Okay. Yeah. Jesus Christ. What's that? Oh.
38 plus 12 is 40, 50.
50?
50.
Okay. As it's running past you, you aim carefully, stab your rapier into its midsection, and you hear it roar, and it nearly, like, face plants, as it continues trying to run. Pretty sure you've done a grievous wound to it. As you pull the rapier out, a little bit of black goo comes with it, splashing towards you. Please make me a Constitution saving throw. Okay. You seem unaffected.
Poor beast. Go to bed.
I mean, you nearly one-shot it, dude. What does Zoe want to do?
I think just Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Which doesn't appear to have. Wait, it's not Bane. What's the Hunter's Mark thing that warlocks do?
That is a Hexblade Warlock. No, wait, no, it's not. It's
The one that you move with a bonus action from a dead thing to another thing?
Hex.
Hex.
Hex, yes. Okay, no, she doesn't have Hex.
You guys.
Alright. Eldritch Blast.
Hello.
Yo,
Hello?
okay, we
Hello?
heard you guys, and then yo.
Whoops.
Why?
I don't know.
Are you using push to talk or are you using voice activation, Boston?
I'm using push to talk. Am I too low?
No?
No.
What's up?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I was answering the question that was Hex, and
Oh.
no one heard my answer.
Sorry. Yeah. So 3 Eldritch Blasts, right?
Yes. Yeah, that is enough to put it down.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
It skids to a stop with those 3 Eldritch Blasts impacting its face. Little bits of black ichor kind of spray in the area around it, but Pert is on the other side of it, so he doesn't have to worry about any splashing. And it skids to a stop on the ground and lies still. The black ichor immediately starting to bubble up and out of its corpse and onto the ground.
Is a cacophony of monkeys going apeshit.
The trees echo.
Red. Celebratory.
Emma, I will just ask you for a perception check now that the immediate danger seems to have passed. You take a second and just listen, and you think you hear something very faint instead of big thump, just little pitter patter. That kind of sounds like the rain, but a little more insistent coming from up ahead.
Like it's coming this way, or that's just up ahead?
That it's coming this way.
Let the others know.
I ready myself for action. Still.
Just grab a rock.
You're cutting off a little soon, I think, Quasta.
I hate these audio problems.
Yes, audio problems are a nightmare.
I would maybe check your release delay for push to talk.
Yeah, it sounds like you're maybe not close enough to the microphone.
Yeah, I'm not close enough at all. I'm gonna speak to the computer.
Your sound
Yes.
fine.
That's
with
good.
this.
Okay.
Speak into the computer and enunciate, and it'll be fine for today.
Okay.
Did you want to do anything else, Mist?
I'm all ready and arrow to see what shows up.
Okay. Fire.
I'll just shuffle around a little bit.
Okay.
Put a little barrier. And I put myself safely behind Camel.
Okay. You all start to hear it too. Little pitter patters. And at the end of your turn, you see a swarm of tiny creatures running over the forest floor like a wave.
Sort of pack rat.
That's a lot of rats.
Gonna go here. There is a lot of rats. Let me look at a thing. And they immediately go to this ape and start swarming it.
I'm gonna shoot the rats.
Okay, shoot the rats. That hits. Okay. You managed to get a couple of them. It is a swarm, and so it's a little harder to do damage with an arrow.
I just skewered a couple of them.
Yeah. So I will, in mechanical terms, it has resistance to piercing damage. How do I move it back one? Move 2 back. There we go. They swarm over this ape. Oh. Here we go.
Okay.
Come on. Does 13 hit?
That's just the AC. I mean, no, one more. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, that monkey gets obliterated.
The rats.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
No, I was thinking that if something happened, like if it gets converted by the goo or something, but when it gets to 0 HP, it poofs.
Yes.
Wait, is that damage accurate?
Yes. There are 3 types of damage in here, and there's only 2 spots for different types of damage. So I had to... The piercing and the psychic damage are merged together. And then the damage from the ooze is the separate one.
And that's the unknown.
It's just that the
elemental.
piercing is 46 plus 5d8. And the
46 is
5d8 is if the swarm has half of its hit points or fewer.
So I have... I made a separate one for the when it gets to less than half of the rats. So you can ignore that, just worry about the numbers. The numbers are correct. The text is wrong.
Yeah, it drops to 2d6 piercing.
Yes.
Okay.
question. It says +3 only on the second number. Should we add +3 to the attack?
So 10 is 2d6 plus 3.
Yes. But I guess the +3 is the attack in general. So if I get hit by the 37, it should be +3.
No.
Like 40.
Nope. Don't. Just take the numbers as they are. Don't try to get too fancy.
Trust Jamie to do the math.
Yes, man.
Rizwan, it is your turn. You just saw one of Fire's apes get torn apart by rats.
It's that game with the
You're breaking up, West.
it looked like Dishonored.
Oh,
The
Yeah,
one
the
with
one
the
with the
girl and
siblings.
her younger brother and rats.
I know what you mean. I don't know what it's called.
doesn't matter at this point. We all know what we're talking about.
Rizwan.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she moves within range. And then does a rage. And then does an attack. It's the best narration I've ever done.
Written is storytelling.
I'm gonna go reckless. And I'm gonna go Great Weapon Master on the first one.
Okay.
So it's just a flat roll. Oh no, sorry. It's still at disadvantage but minus, or it's still at advantage but -5. So 24.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. This is just one. It's a swarm, but it's technically just one creature, right?
Yes.
I'm going to assume you're just scything your glaive through a bunch of
Yeah,
rats.
mechanically it is one creature. But narratively it is many.
Alright, I will attempt to make them afraid of me. So they need to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 17.
Ah, cool. You have successfully freaked them out.
And they are frightened of me until the end of my next turn.
Okay. Are you gonna give me some damage?
So 10 plus 2 plus 2, that's right. Yes. Okay, so 25 damage.
Okay. You managed to slash through a few, successfully scaring the rats a little bit. Why? What happened to the music here?
So that's a pretty shield.
Yeah. No. Like Emma's arrow, it is difficult to really make a dent in the swarm entire. with your physical weapon, so they have resistance to slashing damage as well.
Well, then I will just have to hit them twice. So 22.
Yep, that hits.
No superiority die this time. So 26 damage. Damage.
Yeah,
Can
that's
you
right.
do Great Weapon
Fantastic.
Master multiple times per turn?
Ooh, maybe not. Good question, actually.
I think so.
I believe it's just every time you attack, you choose.
Before you make a melee attack with a heavy weapon that you're proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty to the attack. If the
Yeah.
attack hits, you have +10 to attacks. So yeah, it's
Yep.
anytime this one attacks.
Okay, anything else?
Nope. That was it.
One note, as you're hitting these rats, you can kind of see the little, much smaller, like, bits of black ichor, kind of getting flung up into the air with the movement of your glaive, but you are out of range of it.
Do the monkeys get it?
Oh, yes, they would. Thank you. They need to make Constitution saving throws.
And can I ask, are these just rats, or are there anything weird about them other than they're oozing?
Now that you get a little closer to them, they seem to have like a glowy patch on their foreheads, and they're a little like bigger and beefier than the rats that you might be familiar with. But yeah, they have a glowy patch on their foreheads, which seems to be a bit weird. So one of the apes loses a point of wisdom.
Oh my god.
Rip ape.
And the second... Because it's one per attack, right?
Yes, you are correct. They both lose a point of wisdom.
Okay. Does it something happen when they go to 0? Oh no, they have enough wisdom. They shouldn't have a problem.
Shouldn't have a problem? Okay, let me know if they ever hit 1.
Okay, I will let you know if anyone hit.
Oh, sorry, I ran too fast. It's
It's
Kamel's
okay.
turn.
I'm gonna flank the rats.
Okay.
And because we discussed this, radiant consumption is now a bonus action.
Yes.
So I spark up, and you give me an aura that they can see.
I will try. Things look a little different than the last time we did this.
He's okay.
What's the radius? 10 feet?
10 feet right now.
That did not work. Curses.
It's okay if you can't do it. You can't do it. People just have to...
Low light, directional light. That's all lighting stuff. That's why it's not working. Token aura. Here we go. Can everybody see that, or just me?
No.
That's okay. If you can't do
Player
it,
permission C. How about now?
E.
Yar.
Okay, I just want to check quickly if it moves with. Yep. Alrighty.
Very awesome.
Let me start smashing with the mace or a flail.
Okay.
Use a charge.
19 hits. Okay, so the bludgeoning is resistant, but the
Radiant thunder.
like, yeah, that is not resistant. I'm gonna
That's
just
the bulk of my damage right now.
yeah, and that's 18. No, less. Okay, please make me a Constitution saving throw as you smush a bunch of these rats. That is not enough. You lose 1 point of wisdom.
You need to make 2 rolls.
It was only one attack. Oh, nope. The
Mo-
apes do not get hit.
I
It
just
is.
feel.
Yeah, it is like a cone effect back towards you.
Ah, okay.
Alright. Me again. Stand ready, get some off, so it's my turn. And charge.
That hits. Okay. You managed to smush a few more. Please make me another Constitution saving throw.
Oof.
Oh, good damn it!
It's okay.
You lose another point of wisdom. Anything else you'd like to do?
End my turn. Let them take 5 damage.
Okay, they take 5 damage automatically, and
I
so
take-
does the ape, I think.
Yes, and I take the whole 2.
Another couple rats just sizzle in your radiant energy. You do not have to make a saving throw for that. Oh, god damn it. Pert, it's Pert's turn. I'm just gonna run through the order, get back to Pert.
That's fine.
So, I think because this is Pert was just about to start inspecting the bear when he notices the rats start savaging the the apes. So he quickly joins the combat. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Sorry, I guess I should say, would he have noticed the sprayback being a very directed sprayback?
I think so.
Okay, then he will specifically position himself so that way he's not splashing Camille.
Okay.
And
Yeah, you're okay there, I think.
good stuff. And he will attempt to help the rats go to sleep.
$20 hits. What's half of 34? 18?
17.
17.
17.
God damn
Thank
it.
you.
You did come through the first time. It was just barely.
Is
Okay.
it better than my other mic or no?
I'm gonna say yes.
It is better.
And
You between the three of you, you have an Amma's arrow. You've made a good dent in this swarm of rats, and the swarm seems a lot thinner now.
wisdom it was,
But
right?
you manage to, as you pull your rapier out from the corpse of a rat, you get a little bit of that black ichor splash back on yourself. And yes, you temporarily lose a point of wisdom.
All right, and with free hand, let's do a lightning dagger.
That hits. Yeah, that's fine.
Does the lightning cause the wound to cauterize, or is there a splash still?
So were you like throwing it at a creature? Or
No.
were you like throwing it in the ground and you were using the lightning?
I was just stabbing with the lightning dagger. I wasn't throwing it.
Okay, so then that would still be a physical attack. So yes, there would be a splashback. Sorry, I misunderstood what you were doing.
It's all good.
Yeah, you're fine.
Cool.
It is Zoe's turn.
She's going to move to where there aren't even any branches,
Mm-hmm.
so that nothing can get at her.
Mm-hmm.
As a reminder, she is 50 feet up in the air.
Cool.
And 3 Eldritch Blasts.
Those all hit. 20...
31.
31. Okay. There's only like maybe 5 or 6 rats left. I think, given that it's force damage, I should still make the ape roll for Constitution.
It is cratering the rats.
Yeah. He's fine.
Yeah, what is the scene in the 14?
The DC's 13, so the 14's fine.
Oh, cool.
Alright. Emma, there's very little of this swarm left.
I'm gonna go fire some arrows at it.
Okay. Melis really wants in there, but you don't think it's a very good idea right now?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was trying to reassure Melis that those are probably not very tasty rats.
That hits. Okay, there's 2 rats left. That hits. And you skewer the last 2 with a single arrow. Whoops. And a whole bunch of little rat corpses lie on the ground.
I did nothing. Well, Ape's help, but I didn't get a turn.
Sorry.
It happens. I did a lot.
What's left of the rat corpses are slowly sizzling in Camille's radiant consumption.
Yeah, I think he's just letting them burn to ash.
The 3 of you that are right up close, now that the battle is over and you can get a little bit of a better look at them, yeah, there's this, all of them have this like little glowy patch at the forehead. It almost looks like the bone of the head is see-through and you think you can kind of see like brains.
That's gross.
Yeah, they're not cute.
I think.
Is there any other sounds coming from the forest?
You take a minute to listen. It is the kind of quiet where you have all been making a lot of noise and scared off everything else.
Pert will return to the bear to see whether there's signs that it was infected with the goo for a long time, or if it was just swarmed by the rats and running away.
Make a medicine or a nature check.
I'm not going to be belligerent about this. I'll just do the nature check. It's more likely to succeed.
It's tough to say. You do notice some like wounds, like scratches and stuff on its back that look relatively recent.
But it's not definitively, oh yeah, no, it hasn't been infected with this for 6 months and it's got obvious taints or anything. Cool. Doesn't really make a difference to anything anyways. While there's still ooze pouring out of the bodies of both the rats and the bear, Pert pulls out the compass to see if whether the presence of the other ooze seems to have gotten it excited. I realize it's daylight and the sun's out and stuff, but still, it's just another test.
You don't think it's any more excited than usual.
Okay. So we'll stick with the moon hypothesis until something else alters the current parameters.
Is there anything you would like to do before you continue? That didn't come through, Plasta.
I'm having a party. I need to buy a new headset.
I know the feeling.
What did you want to do?
He's goofing with the monkeys.
Okay.
I think we just move forward then.
All right. You leave behind the corpse of the bear and the what's left of the corpses of the rats.
Yep.
You continue on for the rest of the day. Pert, who has the highest passive perception, and Amma, who and Fire, who are the most home in the forest. You notice one more tree that is covered in black goo.
Pert brings up the use this as a reference point marker idea again.
I don't understand your idea.
So
basically saying we can, if after we dealt with it, we come back and see what's happened. But that's an idea. Alternatively, if we deal with this problem, we may very well know what's going to happen. So it's just a reference point to have just in case.
a known place we can go back to make sure everything's fixed.
You travel until it starts to get darker. You camp once again for the night. And as you're setting camp, the rain starts to slow until it's just like a little drip here and a little drip there.
And we gain back one wisdom point per long rest.
That is correct.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you be more polite. No, do your thing, Nibbles.
Considering that that Ty is not here, is it appropriate to ask Zoe to do a dream tonight, do you think?
I think you can do that.
Rizwan manages to hold out for 3 days before asking for a dream.
Okay.
I don't actually have anything specific unless you think that Xander would be able to provide any insight on the moon thing, but I'm guessing he probably doesn't. So we can just say that it happens and don't have to RP.
Yeah. Xander would kind of mention that, like, even though Char and Selene are often associated with the moon, like, that's not it's not, doesn't mean it's related to them at all.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask about enemies list, but I don't think Pert had a chance to talk to her before she went to the dream. So
Enemies?
yeah, does Selene have any other gods she's had a very negative relationship with that would have a adverse reaction to the presence of the moon in her presence?
Char would have made well, when Amma sort of asked Char about some of this stuff, Char made it very clear that this is like, this has nothing to do with any gods, that, like, it is a very different kind of magic.
This is the magic of the earth.
It's not even the magic of the earth. It's something else.
More, I mean, like, it is not divine magic, it is not arcane magic, it is...
Yes. That is correct. It is none of those things. So Rizwin and Xander have a date in a dream. And unless anybody wants to do anything else, I assume you take your watches.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pert will get his butt kicked by Rizwin again.
Can I have a perception check from everyone? I'm just gonna assume the same watch order for ease.
Yeah,
My
generally I'd
dice
say
go.
Yeah,
that's
that makes sense.
the best thing to do.
Oh, sorry, that should be disadvantage.
I also could be at disadvantage.
Hmm. Emma, you notice during your watch that there is a vine that is just very, very slowly kind of creeping its way towards your camp.
Hmm. I point out the vine to Fire.
Oh, how speedy it is!
Like a foot every minute. It's going real slow.
But by the middle of the end of the night, it's gonna reach someone, right?
Yeah.
I'll stand up. I go there, give it a little thwack. No.
When you thwack it, it stops moving and you don't see it move for like another hour. And then just as everybody's starting to wake up, you look back at it and you think, I think that might have moved.
Do I feel like it's predatory or like they want the warmth of of the campfire?
Ask it.
You can make an insight check.
I don't want to waste the spell slot.
It's not necessarily making a beeline for the campfire. It's kind of going towards Rizwan in that direction.
I kind of don't go into all the details with the group. I just said like, yeah, this forest is aggressive.
You know, I think I got that with the giant trees.
I mean, 2 or 3 trees can just be 2 or 3 trees. This seems like just this whole place is
Whoa.
rejecting humanoid life
order.
form.
The anti-life forest validates my hate.
The rain has fully stopped by now, but it's still cold and damp, and there is a low fog that hangs in the air. The chill of it seeps into your bones.
Rizwan will go do her morning routine.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything sneaking up on her while she does that? She will keep an eye out.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
15.
Okay. You do not notice anything.
Sorry, I forgot to ask. Was the moon out last night?
It was still overcast.
Okay, cool.
You continue on your journey. And you all start to notice it now. A tree here, a bush there, the black goo inhabits. Sitting on a rock that you pass, inhabiting the moss that covers it. Drips down from lichen that sits on the branches of a tree. It'll only be a matter of time, you assume, until the whole tree is taken over. By the middle of the day, you are seeing one of these every 10-15 minutes. Little creatures, squirrels, chipmunks, snakes, a skunk, even a couple of birds seem strangely aggressive. Some come up to directly attack you, which you can pretty easily dispatch. They're just small woodland creatures. Others just kind of stomp and make a lot of noise. You see little bits of black oozing out of them. And beyond that, the forest still reeks ominously. You feel branches tear at your clothing like the trees themselves don't want you here. You can't help but feel on edge. Throughout the day, you can start to notice that the compass, the black goo inside, is pointing at a slightly downwards angle now. The ooze still trying desperately to escape its prison.
We're clearly getting closer, and it must either be in a valley or some underground source.
We need to start looking for caves or passages to get underground if we find one.
Which would be easier, asking Zoe to scout the landscape from above or having Pert, can I borrow a fly spell?
Fly spells only last 10 minutes.
Yeah, but flying 5 minutes straight up, looking in the distance to try to get a flow of the terrain, and then flying 5 minutes straight down would at least give us a
Sure.
a day's journey kind of a. Oh well,
I
there's
mean, at that point, wouldn't it just make more sense to give Zoe the compass and let her do it instead of wasting the spell slot?
that's what the question was. Do I ask Zoe
I
to go up?
I can make you a falcon, and you and Zoe go.
But my eyes aren't as good as a falcon.
Also, he would have the mentality of the falcon.
Big birds are cool.
They are cool. I was just trying to think of lay of the land stuff. Regardless, I'll just ask Zoe if she feels up to trying to see if there's anything in that direction, roughly, that suggests either a valley or cave system.
I assume she would say yes.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be a nature or perception, maybe, Jamie?
Zoe can roll a perception check. That's not... No.
Hell yeah.
Womp womp. So Zoe flies up for a little while, flies back down, and she says, "There's a lot of black up ahead. But the trees are so thick, it's pretty tough to see any, like, obvious cave systems or anything like that. There's no, like, obvious giant cavern in the ground or something."
Maybe it would make more sense to scout around a bit more, and then when we narrow it down a bit, have Fire use the Commune with Nature spell.
Oh, yeah, I have that.
Sure. How do you wanna go about this?
What if we give it another, like, we finish this day of traveling, and in the next morning or at night, I cast Commune? Because I feel like we still have ways off. Commune with nature it's only limited to like 300 feet.
I thought it was
No,
10 miles.
3 miles. 3 miles.
It's
That's
less
still
than the
not a
city.
lot.
It's, yeah.
Can I just do like a thought check to see how many days we are away from where I think it is? I don't know if that's like even possible.
With the Zoe's 21 perception, she thinks, like, she said, like, there's a very obvious spot where things are getting, like it looks like everything is covered. She can see it from the air, but she doesn't think you're gonna get there tonight.
Oh, sorry. I was meaning, can Rizwin have a think about how far away we are from where she saw it in the dream?
Make a survival check.
Make sure I have the right name this time. It's not bad.
Yeah, I think you're probably fairly close.
Okay, so that sort of lines up with what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Well, then one more day and see where we end up and go from there.
You've only got a couple hours left, like maybe 2 or 3 hours left to travel for today. By now, the fog has burned off and it's clear again. But it's still, like, the forest is thick and creepy and it still just feels dark. So are you continuing on? in the same direction? Or are you doing your investigating now?
I mean, it's a ritual, so I can do it both. I'm gonna cast it here.
Okay.
There, I see it around and try to clean whatever. This is not a nice place to do this. And I cast Commune with Nature.
Commune with nature. Okay. 3 facts. What do you want to know?
Any cave openings around?
Within 3 miles? No.
How deep the goo goes into the ground?
Make me an intelligence check.
My specialty.
That's pretty good. So you realize, like, the goo is going, like, when it drips off of the trees and stuff, it goes into the ground and then travels at an angle to wherever it's going back towards. So, like, you can sense the goo down, like, maybe 400 feet, but fire can figure out that it's gonna, wherever it's going is gonna be deeper than that. Trigonometry!
Yep.
Do you want Pert to start doing some math in the background?
I mean, yeah. At this point, I think we Fire couldn't, but Pert could calculate like pinpoint, like triangulate where the point is. But I feel like that doesn't help us if we don't have the entrance.
No, but at least it gives us some idea of distance and stuff.
It
Jamie,
gives you a range.
do you think
You're gonna have to also make an intelligence check.
I was going to say, do you think with Fire, Pert, and Rizwin's data points, Pert could do a little bit of math to try to figure it out? Awesome. So just raw intelligence?
Yes. I will finish Fire's Commune with Nature before we get to that. Do you have one more question, Costa?
Any idea of the rest of the group?
On this, Camille doesn't really have much thought.
Is there anything here that is unaffected?
I mean, at this point, there's not everything covered in goo, right? There are trees and patches that are okay, right?
Yeah, it's still like a little bit here, a little bit there. It's not everything.
Actually, I just had an idea.
Hmm?
Can it, the forest or whatever, tell us if the goo prioritizes animal life over plant?
I'm gonna ask that.
I was aiming for, is there something that seems to be unaffected despite everything else being generally affected? But yeah, that's a very similar question.
It seems to be carried by animals. You don't think it necessarily is prioritizing something as much as it just, if it sits on a tree for a while, it's gonna infect the tree.
Hey, Kamel.
Mm-hmm.
I assume that if I do the correct spell, this thing is gonna pass as some sort of disease. But is it undead?
will try to find out. I don't think it is, though.
It is not undead.
Or fiendish.
Or
Or
fiendish.
celestial.
That's correct.
Huh, worth trying.
Is it Fey?
No.
I can't tell if it's fair or not.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what?
Vote continue walking.
Yeah, so we finish out the day and then camp.
Yeah. Like
Did we
worst
camp?
case scenario.
Did we camp when you did your spell?
Would have been like a short rest, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many hours of daylight do we have left?
3 or 4.
Hey, fire.
Mm,
How long can you be a bird for?
wow. About 5 hours? Wow.
Can you come with me in case I fall out of the sky and die?
Sure thing, buddy. Do you want to be a bird?
No.
Wanna be yourself?
Yeah.
Sure.
So for the last, I think, 2 hours of the day, or possibly much less, we'll see how it goes. Rizwin is going to attempt to fly around and do some looking.
Okay. So what do you think do you think there should be some sort of check involved for Rizwin getting off the ground for the first time in ever?
I was gonna suggest more of a, like, I don't think she'll have a problem taking off. I think it might be more of like a endurance thing. So maybe a con saving throw,
Sure.
if that makes sense to you. Or maybe a strength check and a con saving throw.
I am willing to defer to your judgment on this.
Yeah, I think just the con, just to see
Okay.
how long she can do it. So here we go.
Pretty good.
Saint.
Yeah, her strength is 24 as a dragon.
It's con. But yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yes, her con is 18 as a dragon.
Rizwin takes to the skies.
I think she still gets pretty tired after like 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because
I
that's
follow-
like an average roll for her, actually.
I followed you as a pigeon.
I'm just imagining this pigeon trying to keep up with a like 25-foot dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Her speed is 90? 80.
Well, I assume you're not sprinting full ahead. Take your sweet time. And at that end, doesn't matter what beard I took, you're gonna be faster.
I mean, I just assume you're probably riding along, honestly.
It's better to get tired after a while. Just
Yeah,
Rizwin.
Perches on some shoulder skills.
As a pigeon, I purchase over some shoulders, and just be a nest there.
Yeah, to give you an idea, Raven has a flying speed of 50.
All right. So what are you looking for?
Cave entrances. I assume we're probably not close enough to be able to discern like the center of this above ground at this point?
No, but you can see the line. There is like a very obvious line way ahead of you where everything is just black.
Okay, I think what I'll do then is just actually keep pace with the party and just look for cave entrances, but mostly make sure that nothing's sneaking up on them, kind of thing.
Okay. Make a perception check. You don't see any cave entrances. You do see a river.
What's
It's
the river
not
look like?
like it's not a huge river. It seems to be flowing fairly lazily. It's a bit um it's a bit hilly to the west, and it seems to be flowing like west to east. But also like kind of in a, I should say, west to northeast-ish. But it's the kind of river that, you know, goes along really lazily and loops back on itself a whole bunch.
Is it covered or anything with the stuff? And how does it have anything to do with the border?
Um, it is not so big that you can really see it up to where that border of black is.
Oh, so it's running perpendicular, not parallel?
Um, yeah.
Okay. I will, when I return, bring that up with the group. If the water isn't affected, that might be a safer way to travel.
We will need to
Potentially.
look at it. Yeah, we will need to look at it close, but
Yeah.
it's an option.
We could potentially build a raft.
Okay. Are you kind of pointing the party towards the direction of the river?
Yeah, I'll point out where it is.
Okay. So you all, it doesn't take long before you can, the more perceptive of you can hear the rushing of the water very far off in the distance. And easily by the time by the time the sun is starting to set, you come upon the river.
Big river?
Say that again, please.
How big of a river?
Like, not that big, like maybe 30 feet across.
That's hella big for me.
How deep would it be?
Um,
I can go check.
like chest deep.
So we could potentially ford up the river on our horses. Is what I'm getting at.
It is fordable, yes.
I feel bad
See it.
for Zoe's pony.
Oh.
Friend.
You could probably find a shallow spot.
And say how far? Like, does the goo like stop at the banks, or does it stay away from the banks even? Or
No, you don't, like, there doesn't, I assume you would have come to camp at a spot where there was no goo nearby.
okay,
But I would like to check, like, to see nearby goo if we walk 5 minutes.
There is like an affected tree that's like maybe 20-30 feet from the banks of the river. But it's, at this point, it's still like one here. Oh, there's one over there. Oh, I did one way down there.
Okay, okay.
Is there anything you would like to do while you set up camp and take watch?
I think Rizwa probably forgoes doing watch tonight. She's tired.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to make you guys roll for watch tonight. It is very quiet. It's not dead quiet. Like, you still hear birds chirping, the sound of little forest creatures, some mosquitoes buzzing around. But it's definitely more quiet.
Unnaturally quiet, or just
Just more quiet. The next day, you awake. What would you like to do?
I guess I would check with Bert and see. Does the goo indicate a directionality up or down river?
No. Anyways. How's the direction look? Does it seem to go similar to the river, or is it totally cross river?
So Rizwan would have seen, like, the river kind of, it's very windy, and so it kind of winds.
Yep, yeah.
Like, it is still going in a northeasterly direction, so you couldn't maybe, like, it might just cut straight through the middle of this thing, or it might skim the edge. You're not really sure.
But it's definitely at least going in a similar direction.
Yeah, at least for a while.
All right. Then yeah, as long as the river doesn't diverge too far away, we might as well. And if nothing else, Zoe can float on her broom at tree line level to tell us whether or not the next bend is moving away from the direction we're going, so we know not to bother following that bend.
Mm-hmm. Also, I forgot to tell you the results of your intelligence check. You do not have enough information to tell how deep the thing might be, because it is dependent on how far away from the epicenter you are, which you don't know.
Yeah. So, does he at least have a rough feel of how far surface level away we are?
I don't think so.
Okay. It was a really bad roll, and we only have so much
Yeah.
information anyway, so.
Yeah.
It was just one of those, might as well at least ask.
You need one more side of the triangle.
Yes, but I don't feel like asking fire to teleport me 3 miles to the east every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so Zoe is following on the broom above, and you're just heading straight in the direction of the compass?
If
Or are
nothing
you
else,
following the river?
I guess my recommendation would be, as long as the riverbank follows something within reason of where the compass suggests, I would say follow the river. But if the river starts bending away from it for even a curve, we might as well try to cut through and cut down the time we spend waiting in the water.
Yeah, and I don't think we need to be in the water until we're to the point where everything is covered. It was just an idea, like if it doesn't seem to go in the water, maybe we could make some progress into the area using the river.
Ground tends to be less dense around rivers anyway.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. When I was looking in the dream, like even the ground was covered at the center of this, right?
How close did you get?
If I remember correctly, like we flew over what we could see as being the most covered part.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it looked like the ground was looking kind of black.
Yeah.
I guess the question with that is if this thing has any sort of consciousness, is that it imposing itself on the dream, as opposed to just being a pure reflection of reality?
I don't know.
I think Zoe would know enough about the dream to know that that's not how things usually work, but whatever this is doesn't play by usual rules, so who knows?
Well,
I think the only thing we can do is just keep going until we get more information.
yeah,
Okay.
basically.
So you continue on. And you follow the river for like just under an hour, and then it starts to curve away from where you're going. You leave the river behind.
Yeah, I think probably try to cut
Okay.
across and pick it up again, I guess.
Okay. So you leave the river behind. And a couple hours later, you hit the circle. Here, it covers everything. There is no escape. It drips from the trees, the ground plants, the moss that covers the forest floor, the little mushrooms that are growing on rocks. Every bit of life that you see is infected, oozing black. And it is eerily quiet.
Should we try to locate the river?
Yeah,
Where is the river? It goes inside the circle? It's passed by behind us, or what?
I don't think we know.
I think Zoe should go up if she can and see if the river's anywhere nearby.
Okay. Give me a perception check for Zoe.
Hey.
Ty is gonna be so upset.
Yeah.
With a 21, Zoe, within like 5 minutes, comes back down and says, a little more towards the east, the river cuts through the black circle.
Did it look like the water was also covered?
No, it did not. In fact, all of you can make me perception checks. So, Pert, Amma, Fire, you looking out into the circle of black, I assume you haven't stepped in it.
Absolutely not.
You do see, like, there's a couple of stumps that they've got like little mushrooms that are oozing black sitting on them, but the stumps are unaffected.
I'm sorry. There is something I need to do, BB.
Okay. I will reiterate this to Kawasta just so you guys have it in your heads. There are stumps, there are rocks poking out of it that seem unaffected.
So dead things, basically.
Or things that were never alive in the first place.
Right. But we're live, so.
Yeah, let's take a quick bathroom break while we wait for Kawasta.
Thank
Okay.
you. Be right back.
Hello, back.
Just taking a
Hello.
bathroom break.
Good.
We're taking a quick bathroom break. You should be made aware that we noticed that things like tree stumps and rocks and stuff are not affected by the goo.
Okay. My mom was not feeling okay, so I needed to check on her.
Is she feeling okay now?
More or less. It's kind of normal, but not funny. Like nausea.
Gotcha.
I have returned.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Everything okay, Kawasta?
yeah, I need to check on my mom, but she's fine.
Okay, that's good. Who are we waiting on?
Don't know.
Yeah.
David?
David. So Quasta, you managed to determine that the black stuff is only coming out of living things, like the dead tree stumps and stuff, and rocks seem to not be infected.
Hmm. Have we determined anything that could harm the black goo?
No.
I have an idea, but I'll save it for when we start again.
welcome back.
Thank you.
All right. Miss, are you still here? Excellent. So, what would you guys like to do now?
Move closer.
And sorry, I want to light up a torch and fling into the black goo. See what happens.
Okay, you light up a torch, you fling it to the black goo. There's a bit of a splatter as it impacts some goo that's like living on moss on the forest floor. And the goo kind of settles back down. And it just seems to leave the torch. You think you notice a little bit of smoke? That might be the moss underneath.
Okay.
Make me a perception check, Fire. Aside from the splash of the torch hitting the goo, the fire doesn't seem to have any effect. It seems to be leaving the torch handle alone. And it seems to be having a pretty limited effect on the moss. But it also did just rain, so...
Yeah.
If it's not clearing a radius, then it's definitely not helping.
You want to try to commune with nature again?
Yeah, but the reason I had an idea.
What? Sorry, what time of day is it? Like, how long have we been going?
Like 10 a.m.?
I think my suggestion, barring figuring anything else out, is that we try to get to the river and then just rest until nighttime and see if we can make any progress into the area when the moon is out.
Say that again, please.
I was asking that Richmond said that again.
I was in. We should rest for most of the day after finding where the river goes in, and then try to make progress while the moon is out. Traveling at night.
Mm-hmm.
But, we maybe come up with something else in the meantime.
We have a way of getting closer. I could cast wind walk on all of us, making us like wind. And we can walk, we can travel hella fast in the air.
I guess
two problems that I see with that is I cannot do all the horses. And when the day is over, we will need to land somewhere.
Yeah, the landing is the thing.
Do we want to see what happens when we get close to the black goo? Like, animals have attacked us. When we've gotten close to plants, nothing has really happened.
It's true. But I mean, even on the ground here, right?
I'm willing to try to get a bit closer and see what happens.
Don't forget that you should have recovered your second point of wisdom already. Okay.
Yep.
What if I'm sorry to take your spotlight, but what if I do it? Because if anything goes wrong, I prefer you guys fight an angry fire that we all fight an angry camel.
I mean, that's actually probably a good idea. Camel's scary.
Yeah, you all can lock me down and see a way to heal me. If Kemel wants, we are ashes.
I, the player, am impressed that you're that scared of my character.
Well, out of character, Fire's not going to be able to cast dick shit if his wisdom's at 1, so.
That's true.
True, true.
So is that what you're doing?
What do you want to test, Kemel?
If we get close to it, if it affects us, like if it tries to come at us, or if it's just being passive.
Oh, I got an idea. I can cast Conjure Animals.
Oh yeah,
Let's
there
do.
we go.
Yeah,
No, poor animals.
They're constructs, they're not real.
they're fae. They're actual spirits that come and help me.
Okay, what are you conjuring?
2 level 1s.
Okay. Give me a roll a 1d3. Brown bears.
Soon to be black bears.
Someday I'm gonna roll another one there. So the bears, I'm gonna make one of them stand right beside the goo.
It looks at you apprehensively.
If anything comes up, I'll dispatch you away. Deal?
It sniffs. It stands there. It does as you command.
And the goo doesn't move at all.
It does not.
Right. This still feels horrible, but please touch it.
The bear paws at the goo covered moss in front of it. And it makes a constitution saving throw. You see it kind of snort and shake its head a little bit. It does lose 1 point of wisdom.
If it takes its hand out, paw, does
Mhm.
it like stick the thing into it, or
No,
it
it
can
just
just
kind of drips
separate?
off his fur onto the ground.
Seems like that has to happen a lot, maybe, for it to get infected, quote unquote.
I make sure I give the bear snuggles and clean it so it feels safe.
Okay, so it was aggressively pawing at the ground, for lack of a better term.
No, Fire told it to touch the goo, and he touched the goo.
Okay.
And was not happy
Very
about
good.
it. So I think, like, just to make sure that everybody's kind of clear on what's going on. So it does seem to take some time for whatever this stuff is to, like, infect a creature.
Could we maybe intuit out that that's what happens when you get to 1?
Yeah.
Me? I'm gonna go close to it. And with my staff, I'm gonna try to cast Decompose on the black goo.
Okay. You try to cast Decompose, nothing happens.
Oh man.
I'm gonna go up and stand right next to it
Mm-hmm.
and just stab the ground.
A little bit splashes up as you stab the ground.
But it
Is that
doesn't
the
seem.
ground where the goo is?
Yeah. It doesn't seem to react in any way to the
No.
stab.
No.
Hmm.
Okay. Dumb question. We're wearing shoes and
Yes.
barriers.
Yes, you are.
Does that have any effect on it?
You want to go stand it and find out?
Yes. Because I'm willing to put myself at risk for the betterment of the group.
Okay. You go stand on the goo, and it does seem to have a very limited, almost like a 1 to 2 inch pseudopods kind of coming up and just covering or coming up the sides of your boots.
Mhm.
Yeah. However, it does kind of splash a bit as you walk.
So it doesn't have enough time to sort of get a hold as I'm moving through it.
So you can make me. What kind of check do you think this would be?
I do.
Maybe a nature check?
I guess, yeah. Not
Okay.
that I'm particularly good at those, but
That's not bad. You know that it doesn't seem to be able to get through Pert's glass casings. So you think as long as maybe you're really careful about where you step and you don't go running through and go splashing goo up everywhere, it seems to need skin contact.
right.
I feel like this is very, very similar to walking on a bog or like something with a lot of mud. This is
Mhm.
basically mud.
Yeah.
Like
The other
you I'm gonna say sorry. You can engineer a way or see yourself crossing a path with mud or the not getting yourself and only the shoes mudded for a little bit. But if we need to walk days in this, we're gonna get covered in mud.
Yeah. The other thing that you would know with a 14 nature check, you are wearing plate armor. Your shoes are made of metal. Not everybody in the group has shoes made of metal.
Yeah. I was actually going to suggest, that was coming to me, is there a way for some of those people with leather shoes to waterproof them? With wax or oil or something like that?
I think with the supplies that you have, it would probably be pretty difficult to do.
I mean, we could travel back to, like, we know the location here. We could teleport back to, like, Mariella and make some sort of hazmat suits.
I know when Pert was doing his experiments with the alchemists, there didn't seem to be anything that would kill the sample. Was there anything that seemed to prevent it from absorbing through or moving past?
So it seems to need some sort of porous material to be able to go through it. So most metals, it's not going to go through. Glass, it's not going to go through. But cloth, leather, it will. Maybe a really well waxed oiled leather would be okay.
That might not
But
be a bad idea. I
I
still think we should investigate the river though before we
sure.
do
I would say that Coasta is about bang on, and that you might be able to go some of the way through this, but walking through a bog, you're gonna have a really hard time avoiding it entirely. Mud just gets everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I
you can
have
absolutely. Mhm.
Go ahead.
You can absolutely go check out the river if you like. Is that what you do?
I can't think of anything else to do while we're here other than wait for night and see if it's easier to go through in the moonlight.
Yeah, I'd like to
I
observe
ha-
it. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I've been talking a lot.
I feel like going back and make ourselves some sort of armor. It's actually a better idea, but not something that fits our type of group. I feel like wind walking is a good option. It's 8 hours of flying at 30 feet per round. Sorry, 300 feet per round. It's very fast. Um, and I'm thinking on the way of landing, I could try control wind or control water to try to, like when we're landing, to clean up a patch of land so we rest there. But I don't know how quick is the goo to bring it to absorb it back. And both spells, I don't have them prepared to test that today.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think what we should do is still try to gather some more information, right? Check out the river, check out the moon, anything else we can think of. Go back. I think the like boots and leg protection of some kind is probably a good idea. And combine that with Windwalk to make traveling over this stuff safer.
we can also spend another day testing those spells in the
Yeah.
local area.
Okay.
What if a group a group stays here testing spells and stuff, and they go. Another group goes back to Marielda.
The thing is, it's you have to do both. You have
Oh, yeah, God damn it.
Yeah.
Well, we waste 2 days. We are not in a hurry.
I mean, I don't think we have to. I think we can do all that right now, right? Like, I can't imagine the river's too far away because we saw it, right?
It is not too far away, like maybe an hour and a half of walking.
Yeah, so let's travel there, do some spell testing, wait till night, an hour or two to see how moonlight affects the thing, and then we just go back tonight. We can get a nice sleep in an inn and spend however much time necessary tomorrow putting it together and be back by nightfall.
We it's still gonna need to be 2 people because I cannot make everyone cross with the horses teleport back. And that's the other point. And that's the other point. I think we need to go back at least once to get the horses. I don't want them to get
Yeah,
goo.
I think we should definitely leave the horses.
We cannot leave them here. They're gonna get infected if we leave them here.
No. I think we should leave them in civilization.
We can do my tree stride, or so it can take us to Blackcaster. I think is the only one that she can do.
Yes. Blackcaster, and she has a mystery one.
And that's the problem with the one in Blackcaster is it's in the sewers.
Yeah. Good luck getting your horses out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think we should just do it step by step and see how it reacts in moonlight.
Okay, let's first check the river before it gets the moonlight.
Yes. So you walk just like along the edge of this perimeter, about an hour and a half until you can hear the water again, and you come across the river. There is no black in the river. As the river crosses over into this circle, Those with a decent passive perception, so Fire, Emma, I guess Rizwin, Pert.
What do you think, Bug Camel?
I think Zoe's is fairly low too.
Oh yeah, 11.
Like there's not a lot that lives in this river, but you do think that you see some like algae or something that is like burbling little bits of black.
Damn it.
They're kind of beating in the water and then just disappearing. You can't see them anymore.
Okay. So river not safe.
River slightly more safe.
Yeah. It is definitely the clearest part of that entire, like anything that you can see within that circle, simply because there's just less life in it.
Mm-hmm. But also the water, I think, would make it more, whatever life is in there would be easier to get at us.
So is there any other tests? We're gonna end pretty soon, just so that you guys have another week to think about anything else you want to try. But is there any more tests you want to get to before night falls?
And then we know it affects magically summoned creatures.
Just because they can't chill touch doesn't
Nope.
magically repel it. Okay.
Nope.
Casting Dispel Magic on a area, does it do anything?
Can you cast a spell magic on an area? Does it have
No.
to be on a thing?
I think you have to target something. In the same way
No,
that I
it
targeted.
said target one creature, object, or magical effect within range.
Okay, I guess it is technically a magical effect for lack of a better option.
Not really. It's
Hey, Kamal, can you cure disease? You can cure disease, right?
Yes.
Can you try to cure the disease of this plant?
Sure, I'll give it a try. I'll spend 5 million points to.
It does nothing.
Nope.
It was an idea. I mean, now that I'm on that realm, I cast Cure Wound on said plant.
The plant maybe looks a little healthier under all that black goo.
God damn it.
Yeah, I think we're getting. I think part of us is going. This black goo is like a virus. However, it is not a virus.
Now that we're closer, can Zoe try banishment again?
She can. It still does not work. You remember this area being quite large.
Yeah.
The only thing I can suggest before we kind of end and think about it more is see if we get information from Commune with Nature again about maybe cave location or something like that.
Yeah, you can do that. Is there anything you wanted to try and mist?
Or Bert.
Or David?
Do the spirits tell Amalus anything special?
Emma, you can see that there's not really any spirits here except for the black goo.
Yeah, that's kind of to be expected.
Yeah.
Pert lets one of the robots out.
Oh, interesting.
What did you had?
I had 3.
It zips around. It goes into the area with all the black goo. Flies around. Seems very confused.
No response from the goo.
No? I mean, it is flying.
But the pseudopods aren't reaching for it or anything.
No,
Pert attempts,
not that you can see.
Pert attempts to call it back.
What kind of check do you think this would be? You're not exactly its owner, you're its kidnapper.
Yeah, persuasion at triple disadvantage.
Give me a persuasion at disadvantage.
Wow.
It dejectedly comes back to you. Seemingly untouched by the black goo.
I'd like to imagine that the persuasion was just, hey, it's safer here than out there.
Probably,
Also, you
yes.
have no idea where you are and how to get back to where you belong.
Yeah.
And Pert will put it back with the other two and reseal the bottle. And
Okay.
Did we ever notice them eating anything, or was it just destroying shit always?
The birds?
The little
Oh, the little robot.
yeah.
Those little robot things.
Pert will start.
Sorry, you're making me think here.
Pert will start breaking off chips of a Electrum coin and putting them in to see if they do anything with it.
No, they don't seem to care.
Oh well. One less Electrum coin I have to carry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless anybody has anything else. The day passes. You spend the day just brainstorming, trying different things. Maybe this will work, maybe this will work. But as night starts to fall, the sun gets lower in the sky, and before the sun even sets, the moon starts to rise. Maybe about half full now. And you see, as the moon rises in the sky, the black goo that covers the ground, that burbles up out of these trees, out of the mushrooms, starts to slow. And it almost retreats into the trees, into the moss. And it's still there. You can still see like a coating of it on the ground. Some of it still like gently hangs from the branches of trees. But it's still almost like it's sleeping.
Can I take that opportunity to test it again, see how it reacts to being stepped on?
You step on it, and it splashes up a little bit, almost like a, like water or something thicker. But it doesn't seem to react. It doesn't try to kind of crawl up your boot the way it was before.
I'll send Ramael in to just use a construct we have nearby.
Ramael wanders in.
Anything happen to him?
He stamps around, looks at you, and is like, "What is this crap?"
I don't know. And I just look back at the rest of the group.
Sounds like we're traveling at night.
Yep.
For a day, anyway.
Does the math suggest that we're anywhere close to a day away from where we might want to be?
Make another intelligence check.
More math.
Can I use my information to give advantage?
If you're willing to fly up and look, like physically look, confirm. confirm results?
I want to do that.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'll do that also.
Hey-o.
So you are about 1 day from the epicenter of this on the surface. But you know that where you have to go is underground.
Right.
There
Cool,
might
this-
be so much of it, it's hiding the entrance.
I want to make a test.
Okay.
What were you going to say,
Let
Camille?
me see. Does anyone want to say something?
Nope. Go ahead.
I'm.
Did you want to do
Okay, I
command
don't-
with nature?
No, I was trying to see if a spell or something.
Okay.
I want to make help with the help of everyone. Make make a cave. You know, like with some cloth and some stones. Make like some sort of tent and then put a lot of dirt in it so it's very covered of the light. And put a little goo inside there. The
Okay.
fact that to see if the fact that the moon is out is what making them ease, or the moonlight.
Hmm.
Okay.
So
yeah,
you do,
let's
yeah,
do that quickly.
you do that. Once it is out of the moonlight, the goo starts to act up again.
So wherever we found the entrance, as soon as we enter, it goes wild again.
Yeah. And being a day's travel away from the center, I mean, where are we going to sleep? You know? Even if we're.
I suggest we travel for a couple hours, have Fire cast his ritual, see if we can find a cave and go from there.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to go into it at some point, guys. Like it's
Do little excursions every night, like half the night in, half the night out kind of thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we go for a couple hours here?
No, I think tonight we go back to the city, right?
I cannot take everyone come back to the city right now, but it's good idea to that some with hopefully most of the horses go back.
Okay.
What spell are you using to do this?
Transform via plants.
One way or the other, we're going to stop here for tonight so that Ty can put their 2 cents in before committing to a plan.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, while you discuss and try to figure out this a way through this conundrum, the forest in front of you lays silent. The goo, not a threat for the moment, seemingly. And yeah, that's where we're gonna end it tonight.
Goo.
sounds good.
I am excited and I'm very happy for all of the testing and stuff that you've done, and I'm sorry that 90% of it has not worked out.
That's okay.
You sound so happy when we find something that you can say yes.
Yes.
It's equal parts
Great.
letting us faff about and then giving us a lead.
Rizwan?
Meow.
So you can transform to a dragon now? Or you always could?
Yeah, she always good.
Is there a limit for that?
Nope.
You have a full-on dragon forever and ever?
Yep.
With all the consequences, good and bad for that.
There's a
That's not
reason.
true. There is a limit. There is it takes Rizwin a particular number of rounds to transform.
Well, yeah, that's true. in terms of doing it in combat, I lose a round to do it.
And that's a round where she's basically incapacitated.
Yeah, actually, I think she is like something like attacks against her are probably at advantage or something.
Yeah.
That hasn't come
So
up.
there are particular risks to using that.
It just takes all of her willpower to transfer.
Incapacitated means that attacks are an advantage and they are crits.
Yeah. I mean, I think that that's fair for getting a
literal dragon.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if we get a freaking dragon all the time, that's OP.
I will just say I have no intention of any sort of regularly using her as a dragon in combat.
Yeah, given how terrified Rizwan is of Discovery, that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, also, she's just straight up more effective as a fighter than a young red dragon.
Yes.
Intentionally, so.
That gives me ideas for items.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rizwan's dragon form is more... It's less, like, combat mechanically effective and more,
RP?
Yeah.
No, what's the word I'm looking for?
Narrative?
No.
Liability?
No. Like, random little shit.
Situational?
Situational.
Situational, yeah. It's
Sure.
meant for certain points.
Yeah. I mean, the most combat effective part of it is the free not death into fire breath. That's about it.
Yeah.
Because even like she's basically still a one-hit kill even after the transformation. Because the hit points carry over.
I did percentage based with Gray and the Beast, so it's a similar concept.
Yeah, the only difference in hit points between the two is she gets the extra from 2 more con. So her dragon form has 18 more hit points than her human form, which that doesn't seem correct actually.
You might want to double
It'd
check
be
the math on
22.
Yeah, it should be 22.
Well, good stuff. I will send my recording to Ty.
I'll upload my as well, so
Yep.
they have 2 choices.
Sounds like a plan. I am exhausted because I slept for 4 hours last night.
Boo.